Hey guys, what's up? So CNN just dropped something crazy. You've got to see this. It's wild. Watch this real quick, then I'll break it down.
On. All planes are now outside of Iran airspace. A full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary site, Fordow. All planes are safely on their way home. Congratulations to our great American warriors. There's not another military in the world that could have done this. Now is the time for peace. Thank you for your attention to this matter. I'm here with CNN's Jeremy Diamond in Tel Aviv. Obviously, Jeremy, this is something that we have been waiting for and watching for. We got the word earlier today that B-2s were in the air. There has been some reporting they're heading toward Guam. We don't know exactly what aircraft were used in this. They said a full payload of bombs, which there had been a lot of discussion about how many of these bunker buster bombs would be required to really damage Fordow facility. Unclear if just one would be enough. He says bombs. It sounds like there were multiple strikes.
Yeah, and you know, even as he is talking about multiple nuclear sites in Iran, the one to key in on is the Fordow facility, because we know that that is the facility that is buried deep beneath a mountain in Iran that would require those B-2 bombers and would require those 30,000 pound bombs to be dropped over that facility. And most experts have estimated that it would take multiple bombing runs to actually get to the depth required to destroy that facility in Fordow. And it appears that the United States has now carried out that strike. The question, as you said, how many runs did it take? Were they able to destroy it completely? You know, we don't know that yet. We don't have that battle damage assessment that they need to do.
We should also point out the Natanz facility, according to the IAEA and others, that was damaged by Israeli authorities. That was damaged early on in Israel's actions against Iran. The exact level of damage was not clear. There were some initial reports that perhaps the damage was worse than it actually was. The electrical supply to the centrifuges at the Natanz facility were cut. That electrical supply was cut. I spoke to the head of the IAEA who said he believed that would have caused some of the centrifuges in that Natanz facility to spin out of control and probably go offline and be damaged. But again, it seemed like Fordow had not really been directly hit as far as we know.
That's right. The Israelis had primarily focused their attention on the Natanz facility. We know that they had done extensive damage to the above ground facilities, some damage to the below ground facilities, and then as well some damage to Isfahan as well, although they left a lot of that untouched. Some of that, according to experts who I've spoken to, may stem from the risk of radiation that could stem from, you know, if you hit that facility very hard. The Fordow facility, they didn't seem to really strike that, the Israelis themselves, and that reflected the fact that they knew that in order to actually get to that facility, you would need those GBU-57s, which are those enormous 30,000-pound bunker-busting bombs.
Which, by the way, have never actually been used in combat, and certainly not in a situation like this.
That's right. I mean, the United States has used a lesser bomb known as the mother of all bombs, which is in Afghanistan. That bomb is actually not the mother of all bombs if you consider the GBU-57, because it is smaller than this 30,000-pound bunker-busting bomb, which would, every expert has said, would be the bomb that you would use for the Fordow facility. At this stage, we don't know that they have actually used that. We don't have confirmation from the military, but presumably that would indeed be the weapon of choice for this facility.
The thing about those bombs is that they can penetrate deep through concrete, deep through fortifications. The question is, would you need to hit with multiple of those bombs in the exact same spot to really get to the depths that we're talking about? I mean, there's estimates of how deep the Fordow facility goes, and I've seen a variety of them, but it's extensive. I mean, it is very deep in this mountain.
Without a doubt. And you not only have the mountainous structure, you know, the natural fortification that is provided in this facility, but there's also been some analysis that there is likely some reinforced concrete as well. So you have the mountain itself, but then you may also have reinforced fortifications for this facility itself. And that's why most experts have said it would likely take multiple runs of these GBU-57s, known as these 30,000-pound bunker-busting bombs, to be dropped over this facility. I do think that it is interesting that we are also talking about U.S. strikes, according to the president, on these 2 other nuclear facilities as well. And that, all the attention has been focused on this Fordow facility, which is where the United States was needed in order to destroy that facility. But the fact that President Trump authorized strikes on these 2 other nuclear facilities as well indicates that he really wanted to make sure that this job was done. And this is an attempt by the United States, by President Trump, to truly eliminate the entire Iranian nuclear program. And that just cannot be understated.
Particularly the site at Isfahan. My understanding is that there were large reservoirs of nuclear fuel there, and that during the initial attack a week ago, that site had not been struck, and there had been some thought that perhaps that was intentional to kind of give options to the Iranians.
That's right.
Kind of a window to have a diplomatic effort.
I mean, we haven't even talked yet about the enormous head fake here from President Trump. I mean, in just the last few days, President Trump talked about giving the Iranians 2 weeks. Right, 2 weeks for diplomacy to run its course.
He always said within 2 weeks. But
within 2 weeks.
The headline was 2 weeks.
But that was the headline, and the impression that he was giving was that there was time. He was giving the impression that there was time to negotiate a deal with Iran, and now he has decided to take military action. And the question is, when he talked about nearly 2 weeks, was he indeed trying to give the Iranians that impression in order to be able to carry out these strikes without the Iranians knowing that it was coming?
Some of the guests that we have had on over the last several days have raised the possibility that this was kind of a head fake. There was also that diplomatic effort, meeting of foreign ministers in Geneva yesterday. One could make the argument perhaps he wanted to see if anything would actually come out of that. It certainly didn't seem like that ended with any movement toward a sign that Iran was really serious about negotiations. I want to go to CNN's Elena Treen, who joins us now, and also Natasha Bertrand, who's on the phone. Elena, can you just talk about the statement that the president has made? Who have you seen coming in and out of the White House this evening in the last few hours?
Yeah, look, I mean, obviously an incredibly significant move here by the White House, really just saying that they have moved forward in striking these 3 Iranian nuclear facilities, really trying to aid the Israelis in their goal of wiping out Iran's entire nuclear program. Notable as well that he thanked American warriors and said there's not another military in the world that could have done this. Also saying that all planes are now outside of Iranian airspace. Now, to give you some context, the president did land back at the White House. He was at his club in New Jersey about a little...
Yeah, that just happened. Let me know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe if you want more updates like this. Catch you in the next one.